Well, I'm in the shop today. It's time to pull my transfer case apart and rebuild it and go through it. This is an NP241 DHD, which means Dodge Heavy Duty. There's a lot of different similar versions of this transfer case. I think there's a 231 and the Chevy versions and stuff. And I am not any kind of expert. I'm not saying that this is a tutorial or something like that, but I'm just going to show you the process of me going through it step by step. So I've got an overhaul kit, an ATSG manual, and my mitts. Speaking of my mitts, many of you have probably wondered what happened to this poor hand. When I was 16, I was working in a sawmill. It was a lumber mill, and there was a chain and sprocket that there was actually a welder there to put guards on it, but he hadn't put that guard on yet. And I couldn't see it. I set my hand down on the edge of something, and underneath it caught this finger first and then just kind of pulled it in. So basically it kind of broke it off there, and here. The whole thumb was gone, and then I'm pretty sure the guys told me that my thumb actually broke the chain, but it still was enough to take it off. They never found them. I think they might have found the end of this one here, but it wasn't really cut. It was just kind of, it was a mess, so they couldn't really do anything with it. So anyways, 16 years old when it happened, and yeah, it made a huge mess. They've tried to modify it a bit with surgeries, so this nub right here, this has been kind of moved over to connect to the thumb muscles. So in my mind, that's moving my thumb and that's moving my index finger. And luckily this groove here, you know, this doesn't count as a thumb, obviously, there's nothing there, but I mean this groove here makes it so I can kind of hang on to some stuff, so the surgery was successful. But anyways, yeah, sure, plenty of you have wondered about that. I knew the topic would come up, and figure it's probably about time to just tell everybody what happened. So it was a long time ago, but you know, there it is. Alright, so like I said before, this is a NP241 DHD. This thing is filthy and disgusting. You know, between the leaks coming out of this and the leaks out of the engine, this thing, you know, it's been pretty severely covered with crap. Alright, so first off, I'm going to pull out the drain plug and the fill plug. So just a quick little note, everything that I pull apart from here will be put in labeled bags. I really would just like everything to go back together the way it came apart. I'm really not interested in hunting down bolts or crap like that. So in addition to having filmed this whole process, I can go back and of course look at that. But everything will be kept very organized in this process. So I've got this box here. I'll keep everything labeled and organized and put in there. These things of course won't need to be labeled because they are pretty obvious what they are. So anyways, toss them in there. On to the next step. Next up, they want me to remove the front yoke. So I'll have to pull this off here. I doubt this is going to have the power to loosen this off, but we'll see. Well, came off easy. Should be a good sign. Next up, I'm going to pull off this unit right here. Alright, that popped right off. Next, I'm going to remove this extension housing. I believe that's what this is called. I'm going to be calling these things by their name, but I'm going to state like completely right now, I don't know what any part of this is actually called. I'm just reading it off of the manual, but I'm really not trying to pretend like I know what I'm doing here. So one thing that is a little interesting here is this particular unit appears to be in Imperial or SAE. I'm in Canada obviously, and I have a very mixed opinions about the metric system. I grew up in Canada not using it basically at all. I mean, our driver's license, it says how heavy we are and our height and all that, which I have no idea what I am on either in metric. But I mean, I worked in construction. I've done some machining and stuff like that. I mean, everything, the way my mind thinks, is in feet and inches. But the one, actually two things about the metric system I like. Number one is temperature. You know, water freezes at 0 and it boils at 100, and I mean, it kind of has something to it there. And the other one is with tools. I mean, you know, it's if it's not a 12 mil, it's a 13 mil or an 11 mil. I mean, it's very simple, but you know, I have to say, as a whole, I'm not really a fan of metric at all, but a little bit surprised to see that this isn't metric, because pretty much my entire truck, other than maybe something like the brakes, is metric stuff. So there we go. Next, I need to remove the two speedometer snap rings, which would be speedometer gear snap rings, I should say, which would be this one. And then I guess this is the speedometer gear. Now it's time to remove all the bolts that hold the front and rear cases together. And now I'm going to split the case, something you want to do very gently. Now I'll remove the rear case. I just found some broken parts. This looks like a snap ring of some kind or something. Not too sure where that came from yet, but I'm sure we'll get there. So right away we now know that there was some sort of issue with this case. Yeah, there's a magnet down here and it's got a whole bunch of metal on it. So definitely some issues with this. Okay. Okay, front output shaft is removed. Now I've got the chain off. It appears to look like it's in good shape. I'm not sure if it's stretched or not. I mean, we're just going to have to play it by ear, but overall, I'm not seeing any huge warning signs that I know about. Now I'm going to remove the main shaft, shift fork, and mode rail. Okay. All right, now here is the magnet, and it has a lot of shrapnel on it. That is a big piece of metal. No idea what that came off of. And another one. Almost look like teeth off of a gear or something. Yeah, there's definitely some carnage going on in here. This isn't going to be as simple as I had hoped. Obviously, there's going to need to be something replaced. Overall, though, everything appears to be in reasonable condition, so we'll see. I'm going to get all this stuff bagged up, and we'll keep picking her apart and try and figure out what went wrong. Now I'm going to remove the synchronizer sleeve. Okay, hopefully you can see this. I'm pretty sure where the broken stuff came from. So right here, we've got this piece, and I found two of these on the magnet down below. I also found part of a broken snap ring, which I'm pretty sure... Oh, there it goes. There's my 11/16 wrench. I've been looking for that one for a while. Okay, so anyways, I found some broken snap ring pieces. I don't know if it's another one like this. That's what my guess would be. And then I found two of these little pieces on the magnet. So let's compare that stuff now. I haven't noticed anything yet that appears to be damaged at all, but right here on the main shaft, there is some scoring right here. I'm not sure how easily you can see that. I hope that it's you know, something that could still be used, because I'm sure this is an expensive piece, but I'm going to call, there's a transmission supply house in town here that's really good, so I'm going to try and call them tomorrow, see what they have to say about it, but possibly I'll need to track down a spare, like a parts transfer case or something, but we'll see. These two pieces had come out of this still intact, and then on the magnet here I found that, which is one of those, and then that, which is also one of those. And there was also this broken snap ring, so, oh, and it's very bent, you can see. Yeah, something definitely occurred there, but I'm pretty sure that it was another version. I hope you guys can see this. It might be kind of tough against the bench, but it appears that there was another one of these. So I'm not seeing any huge damage in there. I'm hoping that I could basically replace this snap ring and reinstall everything and, you know, continue on with it, but we'll have to just see. I have to say though, having seen this, I am glad that, you know, it was pulled apart. I don't know if this broke recently or if this is an old thing. Really no idea. Like I told you, I haven't used four-wheel drive much in this truck at all, so probably a good thing that this got pulled apart before it got damaged too bad.